All right. Close out all these extra windows. Hello, is everybody here? These comments are supposed to be coming.
Okay, what's up, y'all? I'm about to dumb it down for you. Get your dictionaries out. Look it up. Come on. Woo!
It's
Smart girls go stupid. Let's go.
all right. There we go.
We some big old geeks. We some big old geeks, about to tear this place up. You ran the walls, I'm ionic. Scientists twerking iconic. I'm doing both, I'm bionic. Nothing you but periodically. I can like the ends.
All right, we got 6 people in here, so make yourselves known.
It ain't safe. Put the mask on your face. Put the gloves on your hand. Wrap the coat around your waist. Wipe it down. Get these germs on my face. Big old geek in this house, and we running through this place. I ain't no regular man. I'm really molecular. Gotta see the big picture. I'm a significant figure. Get more degrees, I get bigger. Drop 10%, but I'm thicker. Doctor not misses a mister, and we ain't no hidden figures. Go ahead.
All right, you guys heard that? Doctor, not Mrs. or Mister, and we ain't no hidden figures, says me, Raven the Science Maven. Welcome to STEMbassy Live. Today is Sunday, February 23rd, and I am here with 3 very special guests. But before I introduce them, I just want to tell you a little bit about what the show's about. You have to forgive me because it's flu season. I'm down with a little something, but I'm still here holding it down, okay? My name is Raven Baxter. I go by Raven the Science Maven online, and I'm really passionate about showing scientists, people in STEM in general, as their unapologetic selves and giving space in the online community for people to embrace their unapologetic selves and just make science, STEM as a whole, a more approachable subject. So tonight you'll get to meet 3 scientists. I have Amanda, I have Jay, and I have Chanel here with me, and we are going to spend the next hour and change just having a good old time, kicking it with the girls in the STEMbassy. So I'm going to bring them on tonight, and we are going to have some breaks in between us talking, and you guys will be able to answer some questions for trivia, and there will be a prize. The prize is a $5 Amazon gift card. Hello, you can get a lot on Amazon for $5. Get you a little something, you know. Maybe your boo didn't get you anything for Valentine's Day. Well, we got you. We got you. I'm playing. I'm just kidding. You can't really get a lot with $5, but hey, you know, it's the thought that counts. We love you. Okay, so look, we already have people in here. Hey, Dewan. Amanda is your sister-in-law. Okay, popping up from YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. So why don't we bring in Amanda to come and introduce herself? Everybody, let's welcome Amanda.
Hi. I'm from Florida State University. I'm a senior in biology. I really like to dance. I like music. I started in science. Hi Taylor. That's my friend. But I started in science like 3 years ago, and I'm looking to get my PhD and maybe do some astronaut stuff. That's kind of what I want to do. Yeah. So yeah, we love space. So
We like NASA. We like space.
We love NASA.
Very cool. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate you coming on the show. We're gonna bring on Jay.
Hi. Okay, so my name is actually Jessica, but I go by Jay. Right now, I am a UX designer. I'm studying UI engineering, which is user interface. What I try to do is help career changers transition into the tech field and basically leverage their life experiences and their fail wins. We can talk about that later, but their fail wins so they can make our technology space more diverse and more, just enhance it more, basically. I'm super excited to be here with all these beautiful, smart ladies. I'm passionate about AI technology, international psychology, pretty much everything that involves humans. But I'm really excited to be here and to answer any questions.
By the way, I can't wait till we get to the Q&A session because I recently learned what UX, UI, you can correct me, designer is, and it is so cool. Basically, I'm not going to get too much into it now, but things that Jay does is like designing interfaces, like this whole streaming platform that we're using to provide this visual to you. There's buttons and menus and little things that we don't think about that we take for granted because our experience is so easy. We don't have to complain about it. Jay designs that kind of stuff, but she'll talk more about what she does later. But I'm really intrigued by it. And I think it would be really eye-opening for some of you who are not familiar with the field. Okay, and last but not least, we have Miss Chanel. Hello.
Hi. Hey everybody, my name is Chanel, and you may know me from Instagram as Know the Little Scientist, the page. I wrote this book for my Lady Munchkins. I am a cell and molecular biologist by trade, but right now I work in toxicology. So what I do is I evaluate different chemicals for their toxicity to human health and the environment. That's what I do right now. So it's fun. I'm taking my STEM into the public health field, and this is a good way for me to do it. And I'm looking forward to expanding my career now to global health. So hopefully, if somebody picks me up, you'll see me out of the country giving you some good public health facts, epidemiology facts, and trying to save the world. One infectious disease at a time. That's it.
And wonderful. Thank you so much again, ladies. I'm really glad to have you all on here. And for the audience, just a reminder, this is our first shot at doing STEMbassy Live. So if there's any hiccups, just, laugh with us. We're just having a good old time, no pressure, but we still have to work through, but we're scientists. We can figure it out. And here's a scientist over here. We can figure this out, okay? All right. So now we're going to move into the hot topics. We have some hot topics lined up today. We're going to talk about eugenics is trending in Twitter right now. We're going to talk about that. We're going to also talk about climate change. And what was the other topic that we were going to talk about? We had one more thing.
Coronavirus.
The coronavirus. Yes. So let's talk about eugenics first. There was a tweet that went out, that was sent out. Did anybody get a chance to read the tweet?
I've seen it. I didn't see it recently. I think when it first went viral, I saw it, but it was a mess.
Yeah, it was a hot mess. So Richard Dawkins he's 78 years old, and he's an evolutionary biologist. He's a best-selling author on books about genetics and atheism. He most recently wrote a book called Outgrowing God. And he tweeted this week on the 16th about eugenics. And what he said was, quote, "It's one thing to deplore genetics on ideological, political, moral grounds. It's quite another to conclude that it wouldn't work in practice. Of course it would. It works for cows, horses, pigs, dogs, and roses. Why on earth wouldn't it work for humans? Facts ignore ideology." So that sent everybody into alarm. Because if you're not familiar with eugenics, eugenics is the science of improving a human population by controlled breeding to increase the amount of desirable heritable characteristics, okay? So think about what the Nazis were trying to do with the Holocaust when they were killing off large populations, millions of Jewish people. They were practicing eugenics. They were purposefully selecting people with certain characteristics and eliminating them because in their eyes, that was improving the human race. So when this week, Richard Dawkins made that tweet, everyone's like, hold on. So you basically just said, we should bring that back. Mm-hmm. That's what it sounded like. But what did you guys think?
It's heavy. I know. It is. I was definitely outraged because everything that when I hear things like that or read things like that, the one thing I think about that always comes up is you cannot treat people like animals. You know, not to say that it's okay to experiment on animals, but this is people. So feeble-mindedness, criminality, or what was the other one? Retardation. That's not a trait that you just breed out. These are some things that can be improved, and there's plenty of studies that show that you can improve it with certain therapies. You don't just breed these people out just because they're different. And I hate the fact that we go back to a very violent past and bring it to where we are now. And we with social media, especially involved, when you think criminality or certain type of people, you get a picture, and that's not fair. If somebody's different than you or look different than you, just get rid of them. Learn, dialogue, try to improve. I'm not gonna go on about that, but that, yeah, that's
does anybody else have anything to add before I kind of jump in?
I just think it's interesting. I don't know which one of the DNA, one of the guys who structure, either Crick or Watson, one of them got like
Watson.
eyes.
It was Watson.
He had a similar like one race or one type of person is better than other people, and I think it's very, I don't know, it's just like it's trash, but like I think it's interesting that like a lot of it is coming up, and it's like a lot of these like real like sciencey types that are pulling like this kind of like rhetoric.
Mm-hmm. I think that we have to not just take a hard look at history and what it has shown us, but I think that we need to evaluate the consequences of those actions when they went unchecked, like the Holocaust and like things with genetic testing. But I want to bring to light, even if you don't bring race or creed or nationality into it, I think we have to think to ourselves, where do we draw the line? Because if you start to breed out genetics in terms of things like you said, retardation or some kind of physical ailment or disability, what about when things are genetically linked to psychological disorders, like schizophrenia or other things that are genetically linked? Where does the line get drawn with what we say, what is acceptable or what we want to glean out or splice out of the gene system? I think this is just a very slippery slope.
Yeah.
I think that as scientists, we have a responsibility to use our science both ethically, but also morally. And I think this is really just egregious for him to speak on this, given his popularity and given his credibility. I think it was just extremely egregious for him to make that kind of statement. He needs to be more responsible about that. Just my opinion.
I agree. And to build on that exact point you just made, Chanel, this reminded me of when Neil deGrasse Tyson made the statement about he compared mass shootings deaths to flu deaths. And that really disappoints me because it came off as very insensitive and very out of touch. Although the statistically people there is a higher rate of death from the flu than there are mass shootings. You have to look at the tragedy of mass shootings, and those are things that we could potentially control. And so for him to compare those two and just feel comfortable putting that out into the atmosphere and not really thinking that people would not feel some type of way about it was really disappointing. And so, I feel like what Richard Dawkins said this week about eugenics, because if we look at these things, like how they're looking at it, which is bare bones, it like genetically, yes, we selectively breed plants, we selectively breed dogs so that we have, animals with certain characteristics. But you have to have a sensitivity factor. And I think that's why it is so important for we as scientists to be better at socializing. I'm glad that we have these spaces like this so we can talk to each other, because there's a social aspect of STEM too. You have to communicate with people. You have to know how to communicate your science, and sometimes facts can be offensive.
Yeah,
they can.
And can I just piggyback off of that? One of the things that you said when you talked about about we breed selectively for plants and for animals like dogs. I think I'm going to go back to what I said earlier about understanding the consequences of those things when they go unchecked. For example, if you are a pet owner, I'm a pet parent, and you have a purebred pet, particularly dogs, when they're purebred, meaning they've been genetically modified to do what you want for certain characteristics, they come with consequences. Like, for example, purebred dogs have lots of health issues. They suffer from things like hip dysplasia. They get things like really wrinkled snouts or short snouts, have breathing problems. They end up getting other diseases sooner than other dogs. So I think that, again, when you look at genetics and selective breeding, we have to also look at the consequences that come from that as well. It's not all peaches and cream. There are undesired outcomes.
Right. I think a lot of it too is like, who gets to choose what is a quality trait? Like whoever's on top, like social, economic, whatever, they're going to be choosing it. And a lot of people are not going to be, you know, lucky in this breeding thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
that's always the downside.
Agreed.
To every decision, that's always the downside. It's people, like you were saying earlier, Raven, people, they're out of touch. People that it does not directly affect, and as soon as it comes into your house or your wherever, you know, then it's like, okay, well, we've got to get rid of this and everything else that looks like that.
Yes,
and that's just not okay. That's not good for humanity. Period.
Yeah.
I totally agree, and you all made some excellent points. I think we're all on the same page with how we feel about what was said this week regarding eugenics. So, like, if you were to make that statement, what would you have added? Would you have even brought that up in the first place?
No.
Okay. No.
Not everything needs to be tweeted. We don't.
Okay. I just wanted to see, you know, if we could kind of do some, if we were like Olivia Pope, right? And we were fixers, how would we fix that? You know, I really like standing his ground on this.
Well, I will say, I just Googled it, like, because I wanted to see the original tweet and see if he said anything again. And he did say, after he tweeted that, like, I guess 8 hours after the original tweet went out, he said, "For those determined to miss the point, I deplore the idea of a eugenic policy. I said simply deploring it doesn't mean it wouldn't work. Just as we breed cows to yield more milk, we could breed humans to run faster or jump higher. But heaven forbid that we should do it. A eugenic policy would be bad. I'm combating the logical step from X would be bad, so X is impossible. It would work in the same sense that it works for cows," and then some other stuff. But like,
so then why make the statement in the first place?
If you don't agree, not everything
it could have been left in your head. Like, why did you bring it to forth?
Write a book. Like,
it's like, especially in today's climate with all that we're facing, like,
oh my gosh,
politically and socially. I just hate that this idea came out, you know, because then people who didn't know about eugenics, like, well, it could go both ways, but like,
you're like, you're putting fuel to the fire, and that is just a bunch of rhetoric that doesn't need.
It needs no more light.
It doesn't.
Let it die.
Like, definitely have already learned these lessons, but it makes for a good discussion. Like, I'm glad that we're able to talk about it and revisit, but and advocate, like, and educate.
I'm getting comfortable. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, some people don't know what that is. All right, so are we ready to move on to the next topic?
Yeah.
So next topic on the docket is the coronavirus.
Ooh.
Becoming a global threat.
I knew you were going to get excited.
Yes, Miss Helm here, the toxicologist. Would you like to actually introduce the coronavirus topic?
Not particularly. I think everyone kind of knows what it is. I'm just excited that it's a topic because there's been so many misconceptions. If you follow my page, I've been sharing the WHO's topic on it. And one of them was they were doing some misconceptions about how to prevent and / cure if you become infected with the coronavirus. And some of the things that I was seeing, I was like, people really think this? Like, some people thought that they slathered hand sanitizer all over their bodies, that would prevent them from becoming infected. If they weren't infected, it would kind of stop everything, it would kill the germs. And some people wanted to breathe in, I think, firework fumes to help kill the coronavirus. If supervisor is on the go to the Instagram page.
I think I saw something on social media that was like, "Oh, don't drink bleach. It's not going to kill the virus within you." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
And to realize when you see things like that, it's kind of like people really were thinking this. They put this statement out there because people were doing these things and thinking they were valid methods for, I guess, eliminating contamination. People really thought like this. So it brings to light two things. One, people really are ignorant of the fact. And when I say ignorant, I don't mean stupid. Ignorant as in not knowing. Yeah. They don't have the information that they need to understand, one, prevention, and then two, I guess, how to solve the issue or remediation. And so that's really important. Again, I guess it's where I come in, because I like to do, I call it science for the community. So I like to bring tough STEM concepts or things people don't understand to a lay audience. So I have to help people understand, like, hey, it isn't that bad. Here's what you can do. Like, for example, with coronavirus, it's like the flu. When I say like the flu, it is a type of virus that you get the same way you get other respiratory diseases. So through inhaling droplets or coming in contact with a surface that's been infected, or touching your eyes, all that kind of stuff. So you do the same precautions that you use for a common cold. Keep your hands clean and wash them. If you're going to cough or sneeze, do it in your elbow or your shoulder or your shirt. Keep it to yourself. Don't spread those things. And then, of course, avoid sick people. Right now, we don't know what the long-term effects are, how contagious it is, or how virulent it is at this point. And we also don't know if it's going to be one of those deadly diseases yet. We just don't know. There's so much we don't know yet. So in the meantime, the best thing to do is prevention. If you need any more insight to that, I would definitely suggest looking at the WHO, and look at the CDC, what they suggest. But right now, they're saying prevention is the key. So don't panic. Prevent. Right. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Yes, I saw this was being like shared. It was going viral, and people were believing it. But somebody thought that black skin was like
impenetrable to the
You saw that like Melanin Magic group. I'm like, you guys.
But okay, so
I love our skin, but I just want you to know, I don't think that it can repel the coronavirus. And like, of course, I said that, and everybody's like, well, you know, you're a scientist. The government's trying to kill us, and then they just go on this whole.
Yes.
You can't do nothing to nobody when you're say nothing. Oh my God. Do you guys get that too?
Yes. Yes.
When you said that, and I'm sorry, because I did not want to cut you off, but do you guys have you guys ever read in your books, like your college books? Because I know that I have for psychology, when it comes to just black skin, any skin that has melanin, like how strong it is, and that we can take more of the pain, and that we're not susceptible to certain things because our skin is thicker. And did you guys read any of that? I'm wondering, because I had stuff like that in my psychology books.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, because you have to study where it all came from, where the theologies all come from, right? Mm-hmm. These old studies from way back then. But so that actually made me think, when you were saying that people were swallowing bleach and slathering with hand sanitizer, it seems ridiculous to us because of course we know better. But then I'm thinking on the other side of that, it may not be necessarily that the people don't know better. It may just be because now this has turned into somewhat of an epidemic, and the people that it is affecting, anxiety is up, depression is up. Like, you're being quarantined, your children are being quarantined, and you don't even know really what's going on. So you're trying to frantically figure out something else where you could, like, you can't even travel now. So I can't even imagine what's going on. So like all this hysteria over information that's not being shared correctly, really. And that's the frustrating part.
I do want to say, to build on your point, that I was trying to communicate about the coronavirus on Facebook, and I was being censored by Facebook.
Why?
Yes. I was like, I got a message, because I'm sure you guys have seen the picture of the Lysol going around on Facebook. Yeah. And on the back of the Lysol can, it says a list of all of the things that the Lysol can eliminate, and one of the things listed was a coronavirus. And me knowing that coronavirus is a catch-all term for a group of viruses, I understood that includes like the common cold and things like that, right? But other people are like, that's the coronavirus. Oh my God! They knew this whole time that the Lysol. So now everybody's like spraying Lysol on themselves and stuff, and I'm like, okay, hold on.
For surfaces, disinfecting surfaces.
Yeah,
not your body.
Everybody. Take
So,
a shower.
that was a side note. Okay, so I was posting about that on Facebook on my personal page, and I was giving factual information that I verified was correct. And then I posted it. About a day later, I get a message from a scientist that's working with Facebook, like about my particular post about the coronavirus. And I was like, so I read it, and she's like a science fact checker. And so they're reading our post to make sure that what we're communicating about the coronavirus is correct. And I felt like I had very mixed emotions about that, because yes, I do want Facebook to fact check this crap, but don't fact check the scientists. Like, fact check these people. Right. Tell me y'all to spray Lysol where the sun don't shine. Like,
why didn't they get messages from fact checkers on Facebook?
A
lot of views.
So I don't know. How do you guys feel about scientists regulating, or like Facebook scientists? I don't know who this lady was. I think she was a scientist working with Facebook, regulating what we're saying. How do you guys feel about that?
I've seen a lot of conspiracy theories about the coronavirus, and like there's I think it was a chair at Harvard that got like arrested for being connected to China, and like 2 other people in Boston got taken down, and they're like, oh yeah, he was connected to a university in Wuhan, China, and that's where the coronavirus came out, and blah 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 blah, and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't think that's where that coronavirus came from. I don't think he was related to that, but like that's how I was like, and like people are sharing this, people are commenting, and it's like, yeah, the government doesn't want you, like blah blah blah, all this stuff, and it's like someone needs to be like, hey, hello, that's not true, but like,
yeah,
it's a little scary though that like everything's being watched, and
it was very scary. You get peace of mind up until somebody calls you out, from like a stranger messages you personally about a particular post, and it
makes you wonder, what else are they watching?
Exactly.
They said something about that post, but what else are they watching? And are you on a list now? Are you on a Facebook list? Like, we need to watch Raven's page now? Like, what does that mean?
Flags.
Okay, now look, don't press up on me. Okay, I don't got that. I'm just chilling over here, humble, doing me.
Exactly what y'all said though. There's a line. Where's the line? Because if you were posting something that was ridiculous, the views are, out of this world, and possibly some ads there. But now you're trying to inform society with the truth. Oh, hold on now. Slow down. Slow your roll. We don't need all that information.
Right. Don't tell the truth.
Right. We don't need truth in 2020. Just give them a little flow.
Going back to the actual virus itself, it seems like I'm reading the statistics. This has been updated 43 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago. So there's over 79,930 cases globally. The death toll is 2,465 deaths worldwide, and 20 deaths outside of mainland China. Wow. Italy has the biggest outbreak outside of Asia.
Really?
With 132 cases of the coronavirus in Italy. Wow. And that's actually really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious about that. In my classroom, we're actually tracking it on a giant bulletin board. We have 2 bulletin boards. One is cool. The other one is a U.S. map. So we're tracking, and the only places that at the last time we checked hadn't spread to Africa, hadn't spread to South America. So I haven't.
That's good.
But Italy Italy has the biggest outbreak outside of Asia. That's really crazy. And the latest update, news-wise, is that Turkey and Afghanistan have shut their borders with Iran over the coronavirus outbreak. Um, and the G20 is also starting to talk about acting on the coronavirus.
I think that when people hear things like people are shutting their borders or they're implementing quarantine procedures, I think that, and like I said earlier, when you said it hadn't reached Africa yet or the Caribbean, and I said good, and that's because what people need to also understand is the reasons for those precautions are because this is not something that we know there's a cure for as of yet. People that are getting this, some of them are dying. Everyone's not recovering from it. And so if you are in a country that doesn't have the infrastructure, the health infrastructure to combat the issue, and because we're seeing how it can become an epidemic in certain areas, you don't want that kind of thing to enter the country and then just ransack the entire country because you don't have the health infrastructure to take care of it. So that's the reason for implementing the quarantines or implementing the border patrol to cut people off. It's not per se. I'm speaking from a public health standpoint and precautions. It's not what you think. They're not being mean. They're not putting people out or keeping people out. It's really about protecting the borders of the entire country. If you can't take care or combat the virus if it comes in, it can decimate an entire country just like that. Look what's happening in Wuhan province right now. It's a big deal. So until we know what a cure is or a vaccine or something comes about, we really need to just prevent things from happening. And that means preventing the spread of the disease.
I have a question. Okay, sorry. Just like how long?
For me, right? Not for me, right?
Yeah, no, it's for you. I mean, like, I don't know, you seem the most informed about stuff like this, so like, it's towards you. But if anyone has the answer, I'd take it or an idea. How long do you think this will last? Like, how long do you think this will like continue to be an issue for the country? Because someone in the comments was like, the Olympics will be in Japan in July. So like, that's a lot of people coming from all over the place to come and be in close proximity to each other. So like, how long do we think this might last?
Well, I did see, and again, I'm just going off public health information that's coming to the public because we don't know everything yet. I did see that they're thinking about canceling some of the events that are in the area because, again, until they can get a good grasp on the disease and prevent the spread, because the incidence rate is increasing daily. And so until they find some kind of way to stop the spread of the disease, and again, this is just rumor mill. I saw it, online. But I did see that they are thinking about canceling some of the Olympic events because we haven't gotten a hold on this thing yet. And the reason for that is because, again, people are coming from all over the world, right? So the way things spread is like right now, we can be like, say we're in the US right now, right? Tomorrow, we could be in Europe. We could be in Africa. We could be in Asia. Transcontinental travel is like this now. So within hours, you can be across the world, basically, within a matter of hours. In a day or two, you've gone around twice, maybe. So when people from all over the world come into one place, if they happen to get infected, it's that much easier to spread it far and wide because everyone who's been infected then goes back to their home. And then for every person they've come in contact with, it's like boom, 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 boom. And then don't forget also, what we should also understand is there is, I believe, a 14 to 15-day incubation period. So you could be a carrier and not even know it yet because you're asymptomatic.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a big deal too. You may have it and not know it until you start exhibiting symptoms up to 2 weeks later. So that's also an issue.
Wow.
So quick question. How do you guys feel about the containment techniques that China's using to contain their citizens and prevent the spread of the virus? From what I've seen, I've been watching the news. China has been like sealing people into their houses. Like they're using welding tools to seal metal doors so that physically cannot get out of their establishments. They've been using poles. Like they're going to town. I recently heard that they launched an online school within a matter of days, so that students can continue receiving education because they can't leave their house. So I mean, I was just talking about this with my mother. Actually, my mother asked the Japan question. She's in the chat. I was talking about this with my mom. Is America even like on that level? Because I can imagine
we riot.
No.
Can y'all imagine the U.S. government locking these people in their house?
Ma'am.
It's not gonna happen.
Can you imagine the state of our education system right now, creating an online school program so that our kids can continue attending school?
No, and they wouldn't go.
They
wouldn't go.
Well, first of all, it's a fire hazard. That's my problem.
Department of Education? I don't think so.
It's
They
like
are, what, Nancy DeVos, whatever her name is? No, ma'am.
No.
We wouldn't have it together.
No, it's completely different.
Or Nancy Sally, what's her name? DeVos. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Betsy DeVos, yes.
Exactly. No,
I was hoping I wasn't getting her confused with Nancy Pelosi, but they're both named Nancy, aren't they?
I don't know. I think it's Betsy.
It's Betsy.
Betsy. See?
Yeah. I see the tweet. That's the only reason.
Okay. Amanda holding it down for the politics. We're not ready. We are not prepared for that type of response. We are so fortunate that didn't happen here. And then I remember Bill Gates. There was a thing that Bill Gates predicted that something like this would happen because we had a flu pandemic or sickness pandemic years ago before mass travel was a thing. Back when before mass transport. You know, we were still doing horses, carriages. There was no planes. People weren't jumping country to country, jet setting, you know, living that crazy luxury life, right? It was hard back then. And so when there were these big pandemics, they didn't really go that far. There was a big death total, but it was contained to a particular area. So now we have, you know, there's so much at stake here because we are so fortunate to be able to have all this technology to travel so far, but we're not ready for what comes with that, the consequences, sicknesses, traveling, germs, traveling. We don't have these vaccines on point yet. You know, I think Trump just cut funding to the CDC. I think he just cut funding to the CDC. So even if we wanted to find a vaccine, we have less money to do it. Yeah. So boom. How do you all? I mean, what would happen if Wuhan was in America? What would that response look like?
It'd be like the zombie apocalypse. Like it would.
Contagion. Have you seen the movie Contagion with Lawrence Fishburne?
No,
I haven't seen it.
That's my favorite movie ever. I want to be Lawrence Fishburne when I grow up. Like that's not amazing. In that movie, I was
gonna say because he was really good in The Matrix. I would want to be him in general. To be honest,
that would be chaos. We're not. The thing is, we're not ready for a lot of things. We're still really just getting our minds prepared for technology.
Yeah,
honestly, we don't.
We're behind in that too. Other civilizations are behind in that too.
We really are. Like we're just not there. I think there's like we said earlier, sometimes when certain people are in charge, they don't think about the whole picture. And as far as, you know, Wuhan, I don't like the methods only because I'm thinking from a standpoint of when you do get a handle on it, how are these people going to come back from that? And then now I read an article where here in the United States, because of the false information, right? And because of not, you know, the whole truth and things like that, we're not prepared. We just assume when you see someone who's Asian, you just automatically think, okay, do they have it? And that's not okay. Like you don't even know how to treat somebody who, you know, just because they look like it. No. It would be
somebody made a point. Sorry to interrupt. No, and I'm gonna state the point that they said. I'm not gonna say that I agree or I disagree, but this is what someone said because I posted something, and I'm also in graduate school right now, and I am in class with a lot of Asian women and men, and they are emailing me, you know, Raven, can you please let people know that like not everybody who's Asian has the coronavirus because people are looking at me crazy. And so I went to Facebook and I, you know, kind of just like let people know y'all gotta stop acting crazy over here, okay? You know, like just stop with the BS. Somebody said, we get discriminated against, talking about we as Black people. You know, we get discriminated against. People look at us and they assume things. So, you know, now it's somebody else's turn. And I was like, oh, okay, well. So I didn't comment. You know, what do you guys think about that?
Can I?
Go ahead.
Okay. Here's the thing about that, and I want to say this in the best. I hope my words turned around. As Black people, whether you're mixed or not, we really have a responsibility to be a little bit more tolerant because we experience things like that. You don't get to say because somebody else is now experiencing your pain, oh, it's your turn. This is not a present that you just pass on. Nobody wants this crap. You understand how it feels. You be empathetic and you treat them the same way you would want them to treat. That's the best time for y'all to have a dialogue. So you, this Asian person, and this Black person, like, oh, you're not what I thought. People don't dialogue anymore. You just assume and you put things, your biases on other people, and that's why. Stop. You cannot continue to do that and then turn around at the same time. God bless you. You can't do that. Who are you? You have no place to judge anybody or pass something else off to them. That's not okay. I don't agree with that.
I also think this is a very, very powerful lesson in the impact of social media or media, period. Mm-hmm. Because I think that people have this preconceived notion about the Asian population. But I think what really exacerbated that issue was in the media. It's really being portrayed like this is an Asian thing. Mm-hmm. And I think that this is a great lesson in the power of media and how anything can be spun like this. Yeah. And even though we know as human beings, as individuals, you cannot hold an entire group accountable for one particular set of circumstances, I think this is just a really powerful lesson in media and how powerful it can be used for good and for I don't say evil, but
right,
the other side of that.
Thank you so much. And, you know, you guys, I agree with everything that you guys said. And some conversations are hard to have online.
Yeah,
it is.
Text. People twist your words or they don't want to do all the research.
They're going to just be mad no matter what you write.
Yep.
They are. Everything's so polarized now. You know, anything can be changed around to make them more comfortable. But then you don't just if you could look at the person's intent, if possible, just consider it. You know. But yeah.
I agree. Thank you, ladies. Well, that was a very insightful conversation about the coronavirus. Are we ready for our next topic? Talking about climate change.
Yes.
All right, let's go. Climate change.
Climate change, man.
We're just jumping into these heavy topics tonight, but
what are you talking about, Raven? It doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
Right. Chanel, you could also say it doesn't exist now. It's on its way. We're not dealing with it right now.
It's not I think that's my problem.
Right.
Not at all.
So let's just a show of hands. And if you are a viewer and you're in the comments, put the hand emoji or just say me if this applies to you. So raise your hand if the weather this past year has been nothing like the weather from the years before. Raise your hand for where you live. Raise your hand. We're just gonna wait because I know there's a lag between the comments and what we see right now. So
finger twisted.
So let's try to keep our hands raised. We're raising our hands if the weather this year was different from the weather the years before. So put a hand emoji, write yes, write me.
The weather outside is frightful.
Yes. So we have 4 people that agreed. They said yes.
Yes.
I'll just quickly say, I don't know if you guys have ever heard, we got 5 people now, 6. I'm from Buffalo, New York. I live in Buffalo, New York. Does anybody know anything about Buffalo?
I know a little.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to try to show you guys what a winter normally looks like in Buffalo, New York. Okay. let me show you this. And I'm going to try to share my screen. Um, hmm, Share my screen. I want to do phone tab. Okay. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
So this is what a winter looks like in Buffalo, New York. Look at all this snow. Look how high it is.
My God.
Okay? That's the blizzard of 1977. But like this is 5 years ago. We have to shovel our roofs, right? Like we get a crap ton of snow on a normal winter. Very normal for things to look like this. So this winter, what we got barely any snow. We got barely any snow. And for a good chunk of our winter, I didn't really have to wear a coat. I didn't really have to wear a coat today. I wore a sweatshirt and a scarf. That is unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
It is terrifying how warm this winter was.
2 weeks ago,
mortified.
2 weeks ago, Antarctica was 65 degrees on
Yes,
record.
I saw that.
And that was hotter than it was in New York and DC.
Uh-huh.
Antarctica.
Yeah. Oh, but it's not happening. It's not going.
No, it's a hoax. It's not a hoax. Not real.
Mortified. Who is scared? That's kind of scary. Like, the bushfires in Australia. We're
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
That's not a coincidence. That was predicted.
It's
That was a predicted occurrence.
Mm-hmm.
It's right on time.
Yep.
They predicted that at this point in time in the future that bushfires in Australia will be bigger than ever and that it will continue to get worse if climate change were to accelerate. So we are right on target for all of these predictions that climate scientists rather, have been modeling. And we're moving so slowly. When I was in college, like about 10 years ago, 10 years ago, I majored in environmental science. And like around that time, that's when like eco-friendly was popping, going green, paperless. Everybody's like, yes, paperless, yes, eco-friendly, go green, and I was like, oh, that's cute. Hopefully by the time, 10 years from now, we'll be all set, because it seemed like the ball was getting rolled on that. We were getting in the groove, had my little reusable bag, and, we were doing okay. We've literally done barely anything more than that since then.
Yep.
I was hoping that electric cars, I think the Prius had just recently come out around then.
I have one.
You have one? Oh, Prius. Thank you. Thank you. I was hoping that the government would mandate everybody has to have a solar car. I thought solar cars were going to happen. Not even electric, because electric is still reliant on fossil fuels, because that's where we get our electricity from. So we haven't even we're not really doing it. So how do you guys feel about the climate change crisis? What do you feel like needs to change? How do you feel like we as scientists can influence, as science communicators, really, because that's what we all are? How can we influence this? Because it's really the most important thing. Like, even if we did come up with a vaccine for the coronavirus tomorrow and everybody was good, we still have climate change. So how are we going to tackle this?
When I hear people say, everyone has a hand in it. And we do. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Since we were kids, okay? So I'm a fan. But I think we have to also look at the main contributors for things that contribute to climate change, like greenhouse gases and whatnot. And I think that we can tell people to stop using charcoal and use electric grills or instead. We can do that. But personally, I like charcoal grill personally, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm saying we can tell people to do that. But I think that the point you made is no matter how much charcoal we use as households, we will never compare to the gases that are being spewed out by corporations and big companies. They're the major contributors to things like this. So I think that we need to start holding people accountable. I mean, I say people, corporations, because they're the ones that are contributing the most heavily to these kinds of greenhouse gases and whatnot that are adding to the situation. So
I think one way, like piggybacking off that, like one way that the biggest change is going to come is like if you change the economics behind these corporations, because like some places have carbon caps, so it's like you can use this much amount of carbon, and if you want to use more, you have to buy more. So it's
pay more. Yep.
Economically unfavorable to be like producing too much greenhouse gases. So it's like if that gets implemented to like more places, it might be helpful. But still, it's like we're still allowing them to produce like a good chunk of this and still be like, okay, it's fine, like you're good.
I think my power cord, my battery's dying. I'll be right back.
Okay.
And don't tell nobody.
Okay. The second thing I wanted to mention was about the permafrost. I listened to this podcast. It's called Radio Lab. It's really good. Would recommend. But they were talking about how the permafrost melting has a bunch of like CO2 like trapped in it, and that because it's melting, it's going to release all the CO2, and it's like double of what we have right now. So it's like only going to exponentially get worse, which is like very scary. But like, there's a lot happening in the world right now. I don't know what we can do about that as individuals. We can do what we can and educate people, try to like get our like representatives to lobby for like good policies regarding this, vote for people that are going to like stand up for this, and like vote for people that are going to help our causes, what we care about, staying alive on this earth for more than 10 years maybe is a good one. But
okay, no, you're exactly right, because I'm sorry. Wait, did I cut you off? Because I don't want to.
No, you're fine. That's good. I'm good.
When you said that, you got me excited. No, you're exactly right. So now we can't even talk about prevention. We have to talk about. I'm sorry. Yeah, we can't talk about prevention. We have to talk about preservation. And you're right. We have to create policies and programs to educate people and especially not just us, but there's another generation that's coming up. And after them, like, come on, we have to do something about that and act like it's an actual real thing, problem. I think people a lot of times that feel like it's not an issue, they have a lot of freedoms now because they have an abundance of something. But then if you think about the rest of the population in different, like we were saying, economic areas that are, disenfranchised, they get the end of the stick, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely policy and different programs. I think that's, if we take it to a government level, then I think and hope that we would start to see some changes. But you're right, we can't, all of us collectively, that's great, but then there's things that are bigger than us, companies, corporations, things like that.
True. We as science communicators, we do have a lot of power. We have followings, we have people who look to us for information, and some direction on like what should we be learning about as far as science and the world goes. People always asking me for opinions on certain things, and I'm like, I'll Google it for you, but like I got you. I'll help you understand what's going on. I think we have a huge responsibility to kind of act on this, and I'm not even really an activist, really, but I will be vocal if I feel like it's going to benefit future generations. I think that's really important. It's a huge issue, and it's not something we're going to be able to solve tonight. But I just want to kind of put it out there, when you're thinking about your next science communication initiative, I think we should really start to kind of join forces, all of us, on a climate change initiative. I think it would be really smart. We can't go wrong. At least we said something, We tried. But that's something that I'm going to be thinking about and kind of reaching out to you guys and others and make sure that we're like united on this front so that, when it comes to be 20 years from now, we won't be looking back like, dang, I really should have did more because this got hot up in here.
It's warm.
I'm sweating like a mug.
Right.
Okay. Well, we're coming up on the hour, so I definitely want to move on to our next activity. So our next activity is, hold on. I got my list. I think we're playing a game, but let me just triple check. We're playing a game. So rapid fire questions.
Okay.
are my scientists. Let me take this. Okay, so Amanda, Chanel, and Jay here.
I didn't study for the test.
It's okay. It's okay. These are all personal questions about life.
Amanda.
Not necessarily stuff-related. Okay, but rapid fire. So, we're going to go boom, 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 boom. Just say the first thing that comes to mind. Don't think about it too hard. Okay. So we're going to start with, I don't know if it's in the same order on your screen, but I'm in the upper left-hand corner. Is it the same for you guys? And Amanda is on my right.
Yes.
Okay. So we must have the same orientation. So we're going to go in a clockwise direction. So Amanda, Jay, Chanel, and back. Okay. All right. Ready? Oh, let me just tell the guests so that they don't leave. You guys don't leave, because after this, we're going to play a game where you all can win a $5 gift card to Amazon. So just because we're not talking to y'all right now, okay, this is about our guests. Don't leave, because you're going to miss the money. If you're a real G,
don't lose the bag.
You're going to miss the money, okay? So hold it down in the comment section. You might learn something about our guests. And then we also have a Q&A session after. So please stay put. Okay. So we're going to go. We're going to do this for 2 minutes. All right.
Okay.
Run through these.
I'm nervous. Like,
I'm not ready.
I'm nervous. I'm sweating a little bit over here.
Nervous. Like, I
don't know. Okay. So Amanda.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say your names. I just answer. Just say the thing after another, okay? Starting with Amanda. What's your favorite time of day? Go.
Sunset.
Day.
Night. Sorry, night. Oh, that's not
night. Nighttime.
Okay, what's your biggest weakness?
Getting nervous.
Yes, get nervous. Shake your voice.
Is this adult content? Are there kids on? Sorry.
Good question.
I
don't know how the answer's gonna go.
Heights, flying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your biggest strength?
My biggest what?
Strength.
I think I'm confident, which is weird because I just said I was nervous. But
you can definitely encouragement.
We can be both multifaceted.
Encouragements for me.
I can adapt to various environments.
Hey, okay. What's the biggest learning experience you've had?
Working in a lab.
Ooh, being a mom.
Being the only Black girl in STEM in my entire division at work.
Ooh. Woo!
Wow.
We can relate. Okay. What is your idea of a perfect date?
Oh, cute. I want to go to the beach and it's sunset. We got a little picnic, some sandwiches maybe. I'd be hungry.
Me too. We bring in sandwiches. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Jay.
Okay, so definitely romance. I'm a big romantic. So something like at night, like with stars or something, like whatever seems to be in a movie that'll make you go like, oh.
Same. And if I can't get my movie theme date, then maybe like doing something simple like going to feed the ducks.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I know, right? Yeah.
What is a cause that is important to you?
Women of color in STEM.
Hey!
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, besides that, mental health and technology.
Okay.
So I have two. The first is my melanated munchkins. I want little chocolate faces to get into the STEM pipeline. That's my thing. That's also I wrote the book. Hoping to make it a series. I really want them to get into the pipeline and stay there and not be intimidated or afraid of science. And my second thing is within the diaspora, I'd like to get more of a STEM education, public health type of thing going on in the diaspora so that we can be more aware of ourselves and what we need to do for ourselves health-wise, because there are disparities that affect us implicitly because people don't really cater to our health needs because they're different in certain areas. So those are my two passion projects.
Okay, thank you so much. What is the best compliment that you've ever received?
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Can I pass? I don't know. Ever.
Oh, okay, just recently.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I graduated from the first part of my technology program, there was this really cute old white lady in a wheelchair. I had on a shirt that says "Black Tech, Green Money." She said, "I love your shirt. We need more of you." I said, "Thank you, ma'am. I love you." That was like the best compliment. I thought
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best compliment I could think of as of late recently. So I went to a school to talk to some school kids. And when I asked them to describe what a scientist looks like, of course, they, the white guy, the hair, and all that kind of good stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I told them that I was a scientist, they were like, "What?" They couldn't believe it. And so to me, that was a compliment. So like, it's like, really? I'm the anomaly in your life? That's so awesome. Well, guess what? Here I am. Here's my hair. Here's my bamboo earrings. Here I am, Black Girl Magic, and I'm a scientist.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Just keep to the truth.
Get together. I'm trying my best. Okay. Heels, flats, or sneakers?
Depends where. I love a heel, but it hurts after a while if I'm walking a lot. It's practical.
You're right. Heels though, because I take them off.
Tennis shoes. Sorry. Sorry, tennis shoes.
And for my people up north, tennis shoes are sneakers.
Oh yeah.
New York will be like, say what? You got purple shoes for tennis?
It's a little different down south.
Yeah, it's a little different. It's a little different. Sneakers, tennis shoes.
It's different. That's okay.
Yeah.
An ambassador. So
Right, exactly.
thank you. Okay. And let's see. Let's do one more question because we're already over the hour, but I want to close out with a
Fun.
nice little
I feel like you're looking for a hard one.
I am. Okay. What's one thing you've always wanted to try, but you've been too scared to do?
Skydiving.
Oh yeah.
We're the same. It's okay. You can say skydiving too.
No, I was, but I did it. It's
okay.
I'm
scared.
Get on a boat. I'm sorry, and that's still not gonna happen.
Really?
I don't do it. No, no, that's definitely a mental thing. I'm not gonna do it. That's not gonna happen.
It's okay.
I hate boats.
The Titanic movie is okay.
Ruined
Okay.
it. Ruined it.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound really weird. A TED Talk.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a TED Talk, but I'm terrified. That's literally like millions of people, and everyone, and then it's on record. Like they can record it and rewind it, so like you can't make a mistake.
Listen, I will be in the audience. I will hype you up. I will be sometimes. I will do the best. I'll do whatever you have. No, please.
Sure would.
I wouldn't even know how to like. What do you do? Call Ted like, "Hey Ted, I want to do a talk." Like,
they have university ones. Like my university has like TEDx FSU. So I would maybe start at like one of the university ones, and they usually have like you can nominate people or you can like ask to be in it, and then you just
really.
Yeah, we can look into it for you. We will figure it out.
Okay, about to give it 10.
I'm scared of something else. Wait.
I'm glad you put it out there. We'll take care of it for you.
Oh my god.
My goal this year is actually to give a TED Talk.
Okay.
So I'm actually applying. I have a tab open right next to the stream.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Do it.
I'm for it. Please let me know. Send us the link, please.
I will. I will. I'm really excited about it. I'm also nervous, but hey,
good nerves.
Yeah.
Go in, jump.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the last question. Good job, guys, with the rapid fire.
Yay!
Y'all did amazing. I am so glad you had some great answers. I learned something about each one of you today. Look at that. Okay, so our next thing is trivia. So this is related, okay? And this is for our audience.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a little lag, so I'm going to make sure that our audience, if you weren't listening, we are back in the game. We are back on STEM topics. So listen up. If you are in the audience and you are listening, say I'm listening. Type in I'm listening. Okay? Or put an emoji or just say something so that I know you're here, so that I know who's playing, because there's nothing more boring than playing a game with nobody.
Okay, it's about an 11-second lag.
Oh, thank you. So look at science.
Wait, scientists.
Why are we doing timer out? We need to know how exact this lag is. And that's actually going to be very helpful because this is going to be a timed response.
Oh.
They're going to have a certain amount of time. And look, all these people are commenting, I'm listening. The lag is really long, it seems like. Okay. So we've got how many players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players. There's 14 people watching right now. So not sure. We've got 50% participation. So hey, your chances are greater. Okay, little math there.
All around us.
Okay. Okay, guys. Now, I'm not going to give you a lot of time to answer this. Why? Because we're on the internet and I'm a teacher and people cheat.
That's true.
Okay. So if you happen to be one of the lucky people with quick fingers and you could Google this real quick, good for you. But I'm not going to give you that much time to do it. So either you win the prize or you don't. Okay.
Wait, so how many questions? Are there rounds? Like, what's the situation here?
So this is a one. Actually, you know what? That is a good thing that you asked. We can do rounds. Okay. If nobody gets it this first time, because the first question is a little difficult, I will ask a second question. And initially, I was going to give 15 seconds for them to answer, but I'm gonna bump it to 25 seconds because you just said it was 11-second lag. So we'll give them like 10 seconds, lag, and then plus 15, 25. Okay. So let me go ahead and get my timer out on my end. I'm just gonna do 25-second timer. Okay, and then I'm gonna ask the question. Okay, so the question is, everybody's listening. NASA recently, okay, this is for the audience. I know, Amanda.
I'll put it in the private chat.
Okay.
Someone can answer a C. Somebody.
Okay, hold on. NASA recently had an astronaut class that was introduced as its newest class of astronauts. What I'm looking for is the name of the Black woman. There's only one who's in the astronaut class. I need to know what is the name of the Black woman who's in NASA's most recent astronaut class. And if you are in the group chat, okay, I got my timer going. Boom, y'all got 25 seconds. If you are in the group chat, with us four, a scientist here, guest scientists, put it in the private chat because I know y'all know a little something about NASA, especially Amanda. Put it in the private chat. And for
let me go to the private chat. What's happening?
I've got the timer. Got 3, 2, 1.
Okay, Amanda.
The timer went off. So that person's name is Amanda. Do you know it?
Yes, I do.
Yes, go for it.
It's Jessica Watkins. She graduated from UCLA with a degree, with a PhD in geology.
Yes, ma'am, Jessica Watkins. And let me go ahead and pull up a picture of Miss Jessica Watkins for you guys because I live in two African-American women scientists here, okay? We're excited about it. I'm excited about it. So hold on. Let me just get Jessica Watkins here on the screen. Hello, Jessica Watkins. Hi.
Oh, hey, Jessica. You have to stand.
Yes. Jessica Watkins. So This is one of our newest NASA astronauts. So that is something that you learned today in the STEMbassy. Thank you. Okay, so now we are going to do a second round, okay? And this question is a little bit easier. It is also about astronauts, and I know that probably all of us on screen right now know this answer. But we're not in the game, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys in the audience, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds this time. How
People
about
are answering it. I don't know if they're like, if they knew it or if the lag was just that bad.
Somebody said the internet failed.
yeah, I give them a lot of time. Like the game is really 15 seconds. It's supposed to be like things you know. And I'm not, y'all know how it goes. Okay, so I'm giving you 30 seconds. That's a little bit of extra time, So do what you want with the extra time. Whoever gets to answer correct first, whoever we see in the chat with the first correct answer, it doesn't even have to be spelled correctly if you're not sure, but we have to know who you're talking about, okay? Don't be writing gobbledygook. Put it in. Okay, so here we go. This question is, I want to know who was NASA's first Black female astronaut. My timer is on now. You have 30 seconds to get it into the chat. And that's 30 seconds on our end. So if you are in the private chat, let me go to this private chat. I see some notifications.
Okay. Oh, I know it. You want me to? Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I got it. Okay, don't say it yet. Yes, she is the queen. We're looking for NASA's first Black female astronaut. Okay, so we have some answers here in the group chat. What do we have? Our viewers. We have some answers here. Okay, it looks like, now please forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong and correct me if I do say it wrong. It's a beautiful name. Malathi Narayan said Mae Jemison. That is the correct answer. Everybody give it up for Miss Malathi. Hello. Go ahead, girl. Yes. So, Malathi, you are the winner of a $5 Amazon gift card. Okay.
Money, money, money.
So proud to have you in the chat. Thank you for contributing your knowledge. Okay. We also had some other correct answers. Everybody said Mae Jemison. Various spellings of Mae Jemison. It's okay. Got her middle name. Okay. Mae Carol Jemison. Put some respect on it. I've seen you. Yes. Mae Jemison. I recently did a video about her on my YouTube channel. If you're watching from YouTube or Facebook, there's a YouTube video on both of those pages that I did on Mae Jemison. She's my favorite. She's actually my sorority sister. She's Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And she actually got 2 degrees. She got a degree in African American Studies and she got a degree in engineering. I'm not sure what type of engineering, but she's a double major at UCLA, was it? Or Stanford. And then she went to medical school and she worked with the Peace Corps. And then she applied to be an astronaut, and she became the first African American woman in space. She started college at 16. I mean, she's like a product.
Yeah,
she's an amazing woman, and she reminds me of you, Chanel, because she actually like advocates for children in science, and I think she wrote a few books for children in science. So yeah, y'all get into Mae Jemison, okay? She's a dope.
So I changed my mind. That's the best compliment I've ever received. Oh, that's the best compliment I've ever received in my life.
Yes.
Thank you. Hugs.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Of course. I mean, I love uplifting my fellow sisters. So so let's go. Malathi, I want you to contact me. You can email me raven@scimaven.com, and I'm gonna put that in the group chat. Oh crap. It just rejected it.
And Malathi, girl, even if you don't get something like super, super cheap, that $5 will cover you the tax. That'll cover the tax, girl. That'll cover the tax.
It will.
Okay. Okay, so you should be able to see my email in the comments. Email me your info. All I need is your email address, and I'm going to send it to you electronically. So that way you'll get it quick, easy, and simple. Okay, great. Wonderful. So I think that we're ready to sign off. That was our last day. I hope that you guys had a lot of fun in the STEMbassy.
So much fun.
To catch the play on the word embassy. The STEMbassy is a place where STEM ambassadors meet and have conversations and get to know each other and we have fun. A lot of people think science is just this very black and white, narrow thing, but we have people from all walks of life, people who are fun, okay? People who like to have a little glass of wine on the weekend. Girls, you know what I'm saying? People who are passionate about social issues and people who like to play games and make friends. That's what science is to me. And my passion is to create that sense of community within the STEM community. Also bring in people like you in the audience so that you all can get to know us and ask any questions that you have about science and be involved in the conversations that scientists have with each other. So I hope that you guys have fun. This is a show that is happening every Sunday. Next week, we actually have a full cast already. We actually are fully booked for up until May.
Wow.
So,
yay, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And this was something that I thought of last week. And but it's always been something I'm passionate about, and I kind of just pressed go on it. And I really appreciate you guys on being the first ones to do it. You know, you guys had no idea what I was talking about. Something about me said, you know what, I'm gonna give her a couple hours of my time. And I appreciate that, especially it being a Sunday and some of us have to work tomorrow. So thank you for your time. I will give you guys each a little gift of appreciation in your personal messages. And if there's anything else that you all would like to say, this is the time. Any messages that you all have. Chanel, I definitely want to give you an opportunity to promote your book again. And I actually want to give the screen to you. I don't know how to do that. Hold on. I don't know how to do it. Well, hold on. Wow, what did I just do?
You kicked us all out.
Chanel, hold on.
I'm still here.
Well, my intention was the spotlight, but I'm not savvy on this platform. So, Chanel, can you please just speak on your book again?
Sure. So,
also, if you can put a link in the chat, I don't know if you're able to see the chat.
I'm not able to. I can see it, but I can't type in the chat.
Okay. Well, I'll type in the information as you're talking.
Okay, awesome. So for more information, you can go to my page on Instagram. It's at Noah_the_little_scientist. So Noah the little scientist with the underscores under each one. And it's Noah, N-O-A, no H, because she's a girl. And it is loosely based on my life as a kid, very loosely. But it's about a little girl who recognizes that she likes science when she's introduced to it and wants to become a scientist when she grows up. So I wrote it for, I guess, K-3 if you have reading difficulties, but really K-2. And it's the child's first chapter books. There are no pictures, so you have to actually read the book and get the understanding. And the back of the book was a science experiment and some guided inquiry. So it's great for teachers if you want to use it in the classroom, if you're doing an early readings course. So like you're sitting there with your straight edge and you're going line by line reading in the classroom, it's good for that. If you are a STEM teacher, it's great for doing an experiment in the classroom. If you are a parent who wants to practice your child's reading skills, have them read it to you before bedtime and nighttime. Throughout the week, it's a good 15, 20-minute read for an adult. So I'm guessing maybe 1 or 2 nights for a kid. Or you can do the experiment at home with your child, and then you all can walk through the guided inquiry questions and get them interested in learning more about how to move through a science process and develop their own questions for future research. Mm-hmm. The other thing I want to say is I am an ambassador for STEM Noir. It is STEM, STEM, Noir in the feminine form, Noire. And we're having our first conference, our inaugural conference, June 25th through 29th in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And we are having a call for abstracts. So please go to STEM Noir's page at STEM Noir with an E at the end. It's in the feminine form. Or go online at STEMnoir.com and submit your abstract and come and join us. It's a bunch of us in science.
Quick thing, where can we purchase your book?
It is on. So, yeah. Thank you, sis. If you go to my IG page, my link tree has all the places you can get it. It's a paperback form, or if you have a Kindle or a Nook, it's on e-reader format also. So you can go ahead and get it on your little personal e-reading device. So I've got you covered in person, and you want to just like, oh, I'm reading. Or if you're in the car, on your digital device, I'm reading. Mm-hmm. So,
and I also wanted to add that I don't know if you knew this, Chanel, but I'm in the planning committee for STEM Noir.
No, I didn't know. Yes,
I'm in the planning committee for STEM Noir. So, I love STEM Noir. I just joined this week, but we are planning some amazing events. We have some amazing speakers for you guys, and I will be planning some fun events carrying my spirit, to STEM Noir, which is nothing but fun and shenanigans, because that's what I do. I'm the STEM Flavor Flav, apparently.
Oh, and the shirts. Tell them about the shirts, Raven. The shirts.
Now, can you put your shirt up so people can see?
Okay, is that appropriate? My boobies on the screen.
I have the word.
Put them on the glass. Is that okay? Can I do this?
Yes, it says this. Your p value is less than
0.05.
Yes,
which because anything greater is insignificant. Right. You see how we do that?
Right. So that shirt says, sis, you are significant, meaning you are important. You matter.
You matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a great shirt to have. You can get that on STEMnoir.com. I just wanted to jump in there and add on that. Definitely good organization.
Okay, good. This is my Zoom.
Exactly. I'm shirt in a book now.
Oh, guess what? Wait. Guess what I got in the mail?
What'd you get? Is that a lab notebook?
It's a hard copy of my dissertation. It came in the mail. I finally got it.
Yes. And I think Jay has something to celebrate too, right?
Come on, Jay. What did it? Come with it.
Okay, so I decided to go back and finish my degree in international psychology, and I start in 2 weeks. Yes, pretty soon I'll be doctor as well. I'm just saying. Follow y'all's footsteps. So
congratulations.
We're gonna marry these two together.
Good. The hardest part is getting accepted. Besides your dissertation, I mean, honestly, we won't go on. We won't go on. The first step is done. You've been accepted. You're starting to like. If you need any resources from us, we are in your field.
Thank you.
Anything about being in a doctoral program, like I can definitely help you out with that.
Study tips.
Anybody.
Great recipes.
Right. You guys doing it.
A lot of self-care,
Yes.
lose sight of yourself in that important process. But Jay, if you have anything to say, we're signing off. So anything that you would like to add?
Yes. Okay. So we got excited. We didn't get a chance to go over it, but that's totally fine. If anybody is interested in getting into tech or anything related to tech, just let me know on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at I am Jai Amanda. Mm-hmm. And I can help you through that process, help you with boot camps. I know a lot about boot camps and just that process, see exactly where your value add fits into tech, because you'll be surprised. People are very intimidated when it comes to science, technology. You think you can't do it, but you actually can. And we definitely need more women. So please let me know.
Thank you, Jay. And you said on your website, is that your social media page? I just want to get in a chat so that everybody can have it in writing.
Oh, yeah. It won't let me. I can only type in private chat.
Yeah, same.
Okay. We'll figure it out for next time. But should they visit? Is there a page that I can type in the chat?
Yes. So either on Facebook, all handles, it's I am Jai Amanda.
Okay, I think I got it. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. And I know we didn't get to talk about the topic that you were really interested in talking on. So hopefully I can have you on the show again.
I'll come back.
So that we can have we're going to run over an hour.
No, it's fine.
We did. And there's always next time. I'd be glad to have any of you back in the show. Amanda, is there anything that you would like to add?
Hi. Yes, I would like to say I bought 2 of your books. Yeah, well, I volunteer at this place. It's called Dare to Dream Young Girls Network.
Awesome.
And like we just did a science experiment and I taught them a scientific method. I think it would be really great. They're like 4th, 5th graders, underserved community. You know, like I really want them to be like, I can be whatever I want to be and like really give them representation. So I'm very happy that I was able to do that. And I just want people, I don't have anything to really plug. I'm still, I don't know, getting my social media presence together. But I will say, please be educated on your local politics, your local elections, your statewide elections, your primaries. Go vote, make your voice heard, but be educated before you go vote. Don't be like out here like, oh, that like their name, they're cute, whatever. Like, don't do that. Actually know what they're doing, what they stand for. Climate change is important. All that other stuff is important. Know what you're voting for and know who you're putting into office.
Well said.
Very, very important. Because ultimately, who we have in power determines the outcome, you know, like in a big way, you know, all of these issues that we've discussed today. Who's going to create these policies to enforce preservation of our planet, you know, against climate change? Who's going to give the CDC enough money so that we can have vaccines instead of cutting funding, like, you know, who? You know, but all that stuff matters. So I'm really glad that you brought that up. And that's something that we didn't really touch on, but like, I'm glad. That was good. That was really great. Thank you, Amanda. And I just wanted to add, Amanda is still in undergrad.
Yes.
I am. You held it down tonight with the
You did, sis.
I just want to say
that age groups, you know?
I used to teach undergrads, and they are not that. Okay, this is a general.
He's poised,
and very intimidated to talk to professors and talk to people who they consider, you know, authority. So I really commend you on being so confident and coming on here, and like you contributed so much to our conversation. I really appreciated having you here, and you're such a good representation of what a student scientist should look like. You know, confident, able to ask questions, able to engage in scientific discussion, no matter who you're talking to. It's really important. So like keep doing what you're doing. You're gonna go far. Like you're gonna do great things, and like I'm sure that everybody in this chat will be open to helping you if you have any questions about your career.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's my best compliment. You're so good at it.
You know, if you anything at all, we're available. You know how to reach out to us. So thank you again, ladies. I'm getting ready to sign off. I guess I'll just say I just released my second song called HBIC, Head Boss.
Yeah.
In charge, okay? In charge. And that song is fun. Again, it's a science themed song, a lot of science-based wordplay, double entendres in there. And the music video features dozens of accomplished women in STEM from around the world, as far as Spain. People in Brazil are in that music video. People who are from different ethnicities, different nationalities. My voice is totally leaving my body. But I'm really proud of making that video and connecting with so many different women around the world. And so you can Google that video, just type in the Google HBIC Raven and I'll pop up. If any of you weren't aware, I make science-themed music.
You got some good SEO going. You got some good SEO going. You pop up quite hot.
Oh.
I feel like first. Yeah, you good.
Okay.
Is it on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music? Like, where can I stream?
Yes, it's on all platforms. You just type me in everywhere. I'm there. And yeah, if you want a little jam to feel dirty and like listen to science words and feel empowered as a woman scientist, or science, you know, if you vibe with the women feel, you know, you can listen to those songs and get your life. Okay.
And check out the 50-second mark in the HBIC video.
Yes, because that was you in the video.
My face looks familiar.
Hey, experiment with the vortex. I was like, you go ahead and shake it.
Yes.
I was like, yes. I was so excited making this video. So
it was good.
Bring it down 10 notches. Okay. So we're gonna start.
Hey, Jill Wallace said her friend is got a lead researcher position at NIH.
Ooh.
Wow!
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jill.
Congratulations. We got connections.
I know, right?
We've got a toxicologist over here.
I mean, I work in toxicology. I'm still a cell and molecular, but I get to work in toxicology.
We stand molecular biology.
Is that something that we didn't gather, that we have 3 molecular biologists right here?
I don't think so.
I don't think we
Actually,
that.
I heard that molecular biology has one of the great, like the best, like ratios of like women to men, like in the field.
That is true. That is totally true. And I used to work in a lab that was ran by almost all women.
Yeah, I have all women in my lab.
What?
The only downside to that is none of the women had management positions. The men had the management positions. The men, there was only one woman senior scientist. But everybody that was at like the C level or below, you know, kind of under the CEOs and stuff, men. So, but like, we out here.
We out here. At a time.
All that cancer research, women.
You know, with all this knowledge and accolades, we can start our own. I got the technology for you.
Collaborate.
Listen, that's what this is all about. All right. Well, if you guys want to know anything about me, just visit my website, SciMaven.com. I'll put in the chat real quick, SCIMAPEN.com. And that's it, guys. We're gonna sign off. See y'all next week.
Tune in next week. Same that time, same that channel.
I'm gonna end it. Okay.
Bye. Bye.